Well, my name is Mr. Arthur, and I want to welcome all of you, students and parents, to 8th grade science. Many of you, we spent the year together last year. Some of you are new. Welcome, everybody. This year's science is a lot different than last year. Last year was about biology, the study of living things, and this year is the physical sciences, so material science, engineering, chemistry, physics. I will finish off the year with some astronomy, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. If you like to design and build, the first 3 quarters of the year is probably right up your alley. Now, as you go through the year, my course, as most of you are already familiar with, run a little bit different. The lectures I send home, like the one that you're watching now. And this allows me to make more efficient use of the time when we're together instead of me talking to you and taking questions from a few students. This is me working with small groups and just working on activities together that you probably need more help with than listening. And the listening part you have down pretty well at this age. One of the other advantages of lectures is you can stop and rewind sections of them or even the whole thing. Some of you, one time through might be good for you, and some of you 2 or 3 or 10 times through is what you need, and that's fine. And so you can each watch the lectures as many times as you need. You also have the notes that you need to work through. Make sure as you go through that you're filling in the blanks where I left blanks and that you're following the directions. If I say to make a map or do a drawing or work with the information in some way, so you're not just listening and following along, but you're doing something with the information, and that's going to help you understand. Much of our homework involves working with the information and memorizing definitions so that you're able to use them within class. Try explaining the concepts to your parents or another family member. If you can explain it to something else, you have a better idea of whether you understand it or not. And then bring the parts that you don't understand, bring those questions back to me in class. Throughout this year, we're going to be designing and building, as I said earlier. Along the way, we're going to work with ceramics and rockets and cars and full-size boats and windmills and telescopes. So there'll be quite a bit to do. On a side note, a couple of things I could use your help with is trying to find some materials for just for display purpose, or if you have enough of them for us to test the property of. I think for different kinds of metals, we can take pieces that are maybe 3 inches by inches, 4 by 4, somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe 6 by 6, that I can put up so they can see examples. Different kinds of ceramics and different types of glass, including concretes and items like that. We're also, different kinds of fabrics. Okay, not just different patterns on the fabric, but actually different kinds of fabrics would be useful. Different kinds of plastics. Wood I'm pretty good on, unless you got something unusual, particularly in some of the man-made products. I could have seen some more of that. And different kinds of papers. Some of this you don't necessarily think of, but I saw an example a few years ago where it was I think it was like a packing material, or maybe it was even being used as a pallet. It looked like corrugated cardboard, but it was about 6 inches thick. So different kinds of materials would be wonderful that I could put up, and even if I had a bunch of samples that the kids could bend and soak and test to see how they behave under different conditions. And for those of you who work in the field, it would be wonderful to see how different materials are used either in your work or maybe how different materials are used within a hobby. If you want to either come in and talk to the class for a short time, or come in, I'll give you the whole period if you want it, or maybe you want to put together a short little video that shows us how materials are used within your workplace, or how materials are used within your hobby, that gives them a different perspective. Why a specific material is used for a specific task is what we're looking for. So that's something that I could use some outside sources.